Sometimes reading Chainsaw Man is like playing bingo. Yes, whoever had Denji offering to eat Yoshida's ass knife to getting swatted at school and the Famine Devil creating a Chainsaw Man dedicated sex cult, please come up and claim your prize. Look, at this point it's safe to say, and it's been safe to say for a good long while now, that when reading Chainsaw Man, you should expect the unexpected. And chapter 140 is no exception to this rule, with the return of Bro Benny and the Flamethrower Hybrid, as well as an eye-opening reveal of the inner workings of the Church of Chainsaw Man. But after reading this chapter, I can't help but think about one theory in particular that's getting popular in Chainsaw Man related forums all over the internet right now, that could very well explain everything that's going on in the story right now. But before we jump right in, remember to leave a big ol' like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. My end of the year goal is 5,000 subscribers, but if everyone watching this video right now subscribes, we'll probably crush that in no time. And I don't even know what number comes after 5,000. Now that we have that all settled, let's just jump into this very ridiculous new chapter of Chainsaw Man. So first of all, the building that the Church of Chainsaw Man is based out of looks completely ridiculous, and I'm not sure I would have wanted anything else for them. From the ridiculous shirtless statue of Chainsaw Man and the Chainsaw Man wedding chapel to the fact that they even have a Chainsaw Man themed bathroom, I feel like this is becoming wackier and wackier with every new chapter. Now when Denji and Sugo arrive at the Church of Chainsaw Man, they're immediately greeted by who the community affectionately refers to as Bro Benny, or as I like to call him, KOBENI BUSSY Edition. But this time we learn that KOBENI BUSSY Edition has a real name, and he is called Nobana. Nobana ends up giving Denji a tour of the Church of Chainsaw Man, and immediately during his guided tour, you can tell that everything about this place is just fucking wacky, dude. He's talking about how the church is only run by children because there's some kind of American death ray that has rotted the brains of all the adults in Japan. And I love how this American death ray is goofy to the point that even Denji calls it out for being fucking stupid. Now, if we ignore the American death ray thing, the first huge red flag was Nobana Higashiyama telling Denji that he's gonna get to go to the other room in a few minutes and finally have sex. And at first, Denji is overjoyed by this information because he's just been wound up on pussy brain since the start of this chapter. But then Nobana reveals that he's gonna have sex in the other room and then get married in the Church of Chainsaw Man. He says that all members of the Church of Chainsaw Man get married and have kids young so that their children don't get affected by the American death rays. Now Denji's completely weirded out. He says, I don't want to get married. What the fuck is this operation? Denji said, I just want to get my dick wet. I don't want to get tied down or anything. You dog, Denji, you dog. But Denji rightfully calls out that forcing children and teenagers to get married and have kids is extremely weird. And Denji, like a true red, white, and blue patriot, calls out the American death ray bullshit, saying that he never saw anything of the sort with his special Chainsaw Man eyes. Now, when I originally read this part of the chapter, it did strike me that all these goofy teachings of the Church of Chainsaw Man stood out as kinda odd. For an organization run by such a calculated and thorough character like Fami, it just seems weird that she'd have the church teach these goofy and clearly bullshit ideas. But when I thought about it even deeper, it seems that the American death ray is supposed to serve as an instrument of causing mistrust between children and adults, and having them pair up and get married makes them easier to control. Maybe this is Fami's idea of the best way possible to control the masses without having the aid of the control devil by her side. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that it feels like these goofy rules serves as a means to control easily manipulated teenagers, which is going to tie back into that death cult theory that I was talking about earlier in the video. But before we get into talking about the death cult, let's quickly move on to the Flamethrower Hybrid coming back into the fold. We finally get the reveal that his name is actually Barem, and he seems very keen on Denji joining the Church of Chainsaw Man. Now, for such a throwaway character from part 1 of Chainsaw Man, I actually like how unexpectedly quirky Barem's personality turned out to be. Between him playing that prank on Denji when he first met up with him, and then him asking Denji about which aspect of his life weighs more heavily on his soul, it gives him this weird charisma that I feel like is going to make him an interesting character to follow going forward. What I did think was weird about him, though, is his fixation on the return of Chainsaw Man. He says, that's fine if you try to kill me, maybe that'll make Chainsaw Man come back out from his retirement. He then says, what if I kill Asa Mitaka? Would that make Chainsaw Man come back out? And part of me thinks he's not actually talking about Denji turning into Chainsaw Man. He's talking about the return of the Black Chainsaw Man, Pochita, the very same one that he fought back at the end of part 1. But if the Church of Chainsaw Man serves as a vehicle to help power up Asa Mitaka and the War Devil, why would Barem, a high up in the organization, offer to kill her? This is starting to make me think that maybe the weapon hybrids have their own objective outside of the goals of the Church of Chainsaw Man. Now, a few times in this video, I've talked about a specific theory that's been circulating on Chainsaw Man forums right now called the death cult theory. And given the events in Chainsaw Man right now, I wanted to share this theory with you as well because it explains way too much. Chainsaw Man Church is a body for mass human sacrifice. The true purpose of the Chainsaw Man Church isn't to to aid or save Chainsaw Man, but to use him as a body of worship to lure the public into joining the church so that they can be sacrificed by the War Devil. Their goal is to create the perfect weapon for war to stop the prophecy of Nostradamus. I believe that this plot is a combined effort by the Famine Devil and the Justice Devil prior to the beginning of Part 2. The Chainsaw Man Church is the figurative body of Lady Justice, designed to combine the souls of millions into one body, and with that body, Lady Justice will use the sword to cast down the King of Terror. The theory also comes with this depiction of Lady Justice, with different characters representing different parts of her. Even though it's highly speculative, they have Nayuta as the Crown of Justice, Denji's adopted sister currently unaffiliated. They have the Blindfold or the Face of Justice as Haruka Isayumi, the figurehead of the Chainsaw Man Church. They have the Sword, the Weapon of Justice, being Asa Mitaka and War Devil, the Chainsaw Man Church poster girl. They have the Scales, the Brain of Justice, being the Famine Devil, the architect behind the Chainsaw Man Church. They have the weapons hybrids, Miri Sugo and Denji, as well as now Barem. And then they have the Justice Devil's associates, the class president, Yuko, and fake Chainsaw Man. The theory also comes with this timeline that organizes all of the events of Part 2 thus far. I won't read the entire thing to you, but I'll at least read the parts that the timeline has been split up into. Fami begins executing her plan to bring the War Devil into the fold. The Justice Devil tells the class president to kill Asa Mitaka to reach her happy ending with Mr. Tanaka. Then Yuko receives her power from the Justice Devil to enact her own idea of justice. The school attack radicalized many students at 4th East High School. Then there's Fami's first attempt to starve Asa at the aquarium, and that fails. Then Fami's second attempt to starve Asa fails, but the Falling Devil attack succeeds, causing mass death around the globe. The public then believes that Chainsaw Man has defeated the Falling Devil. Then there's the current act that we're in right now. After the Falling Devil attack, there was a massive recruitment surge for the Chainsaw Man Church, with the current membership possibly numbering close to 100,000. The public's fear for the prophecy rises. Now, I've never been one to put too much of myself into any given Chainsaw Man theory, but I will say, never before has there ever been a theory in the history of Chainsaw Man that explains so much and connects so many of the loose ends than this theory right here. The only thing it doesn't explain, though, is the hypothetical plan that the weapons hybrids have with the Black Chainsaw Man. As for that, I have no fucking clue what they could possibly be scheming at right now. All I do is just show you guys cool theories I find on the internet, made by better, smarter people. But I've left a link to the original death cult theory down in the comments below if you wanted to give it a look on your own time, and maybe show some love to the original poster for his culinary expertise when he was cooking up this theory. Now, before we all go our separate ways, we still have one more important notion to discuss, and that's what the Future Devil predicted would happen in today's chapter of Chainsaw Man in last night's live stream. Oh, great and powerful Future Devil! What is going to happen in Chainsaw Man chapter 140? You're back for more? Excellent. I love how he says that like we're like some booty call. You're back again, slut. Pull down your pants. I'm glad to see that your curiosity is stronger than your fear of the future. Okay, let's go. Chainsaw Man chapter 140. He pauses again for dramatic effect. You're going to see a face you've seen before. Make an unexpected decision. We're gonna ask for an elaboration on that, I feel like, right? Can you please elaborate? Okay, alright. In Chainsaw Man chapter 140, a character you've seen before is going down a path they never expected to go down. He pauses a moment before he adds, you're going to see them show their true colors. This is literally just Denji finally having sex. That's the path that we never thought he was gonna go down. Now, I'll leave the final verdict up with you guys, but I personally think that the wording of yesterday's prediction was too vague, and it didn't end up being accurate enough to fulfill the requirements for any meaningful punishment like eating Crocs. But maybe we could figure something out. Thankfully, we have another new chapter of Chainsaw Man in just 7 short days, so who knows, maybe I'll get fucked over next week. For now, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and all that nonsense, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye now.